Hi, my name is Liberty Gotmer, and I am a senior at the Saline County Career Center. I chose the category Exploring Support Services for my Educators Rising project this year, and I had the opportunity to observe and shadow Mrs. Audrey Ming. She is the counselor at Spainhauer Primary School, and this school houses pre-K through first grade. She has her minor in education and her major in psychology, and she graduated from the University of Central Missouri in Warrensburg, from which she received her bachelor's degree and her master's degree in counseling K through 12. She explained to me that it was a very long program, which I would imagine, but she had a very supportive and helpful community that guided her through her teaching and counseling journey. Mrs. Ming has spoken a lot to me personally about growth and how things have changed a lot for her. She has grown a lot from where she first started as a counselor. She said that she had struggled a lot going home and worrying and crying a lot about some things she had seen or heard that day when she was working. And it is really difficult for people to be okay, like just be okay with what they had heard and seen. I feel like that would be hard for anybody, but Mrs. Ming used to go home all the time worrying, and the big question for her was that she wanted to know why these things happen to people. She has come a long way, and she realizes now how to handle her emotions and take better care of herself. She told me that you need to counsel yourself before you can counsel other people, and that there are more happy moments than sad ones. And I think that this is really important to remember because personally, I have trouble choosing my battles sometimes and remembering that a lot of things are not in my control. I cannot fix everything, but remembering that happiness often overpowers sadness motivates me to keep going and that it will all be worth it. Mrs. Ming does not have any specific rules or guidelines to follow in her classroom. She has one thing that she wants kids to know, and it is that it is very important to mention at every meeting or guidance session that everything she says and they say stay in the room and that she will not tell anyone. She also needs to mention that this does not include harm to yourself or others. She is required to report it if something like that comes up or is brought up by her, the student, and it is a rule for herself, not as much as for the students. This role is important to me because I feel like it helps kids feel more comfortable talking to her and that they know that she is a trustworthy person. I know that if I was a student, I would feel better if she established this with me from the beginning, especially when some kids tend to get paranoid or nervous when sharing their feelings. I would feel more comfortable being able to open up to her. If I was a school counselor, I'd want my students to feel safe and comfortable towards me. I would want them to know they can trust me, and I feel like building that bond and connection with them is very important. Some pros and cons of being a school counselor. The pros are that you can connect with students on a more personal level with each individual sessions as well. Each student feels valued and accepted by you, and you feel valuable knowing you are making a difference in their lives. I think that's very important. And I would feel every single time I talk to a kid, if I was a counselor, I would feel great knowing that I could have said something that impacted their day or affected a decision that they were going to make. This is important because all of these go back to building that connection with them, letting them know that they can trust you and you can trust them. Some cons of being a school counselor is that it can be overwhelming at times, especially the aspect of creating schedules, class things, other things involving students besides just counseling and having sessions with them. It's difficult not to take things personally. Feelings play a big role in the job, and I know for me, it would be very difficult for me to not. Like she said, go home all the time, which that's part of the job, and I know you get better at that. And but it might be challenging trying to separate schoolwork and personal life. Mrs. Ming is an effective school counselor because she is kind. She is one of the kindest people that I know. It is naturally like that for her. She knows how to speak to students on their level, and that helps her excel at her job. Mrs. Ming is extremely patient with her students as well. She keeps her cool and is calm and clear when working with students. She knows building relationships is very important when working with them, and it also can cause them to develop way more trust. It is important in every classroom, but even more so when sharing feelings and emotions in a counseling setting. Mrs. Ming is also very passionate about her job. She has a drive to help all students become successful and help them. It's not just because it's her job, but because she knows it's the right thing to do. Mrs. Ming has a boundless supply of energy. She knows that being enthusiastic with her students is important to keep them engaged and motivated, especially during a classroom visit. That is another important thing. I think these qualities really are very important when it comes to being a counselor. I would like to emulate these qualities when it comes to that because these are just great for any occupation, not just that, but these characteristics are just amazing when working with children in any occupation. So, in conclusion, I had an amazing time getting to know Mrs. Ming and observing exactly what they school counselors do for any grade level of students, but especially younger. This valuable experience has helped me determine some of my future plans, even. During my time with Miss Ming, I instantly clicked with her and what she does, and I knew it was something that I wanted to pursue in the future. I am extremely lucky to have been given the opportunity to be with her. So, thank you for your time.